I just wanted to cry. Like, it was a horrible night. I have nowhere to stay tonight. I was stranded. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bray, and I'm back at it again with the back at it again. Today is going to be a story time. Okay, so I've been in a lot of interracial relationships in my short time of living. I wouldn't say a lot. I've been in like 3 of them. So in this particular relationship that I'm going to be talking about, this was when I was living in Amsterdam and I was dating someone that was from Egypt. I don't know why I had to think about that. I wanted to say Morocco, but he was from Egypt. I just finished college and I was like, I need to do something. I want to travel. I don't want to stay where I'm at. Like, I need time to myself to think. So I took some time off of work after I finished college and got my bachelor's degree, and I booked a month-long trip to Europe. So the majority of the time I was staying in Milan, Italy. You can probably see some of the vlogs and stuff from there. And I had like the best of time. I went to Germany, London, and then I went to Amsterdam. And after Amsterdam, I was supposed to go to Budapest. I never made it to Budapest. The first day that I was at Amsterdam, I went into this restaurant. And this individual, my ex, we'll name him Josh. Josh works at this restaurant. So I'm in this restaurant and I'm drinking and I'm on FaceTime with my best friend. And like, Josh is the bartender. So Josh is just like pouring me drinks or whatever. And I'm like, wow, these drinks are like really strong. Maybe this is normal in Amsterdam. I don't know. This is my first day here. So I am drinking, and then the bartender, like, so Josh is trying to talk to me while I'm drinking. And I'm not the one to entertain people at all because I'm African American. I'm traveling on my own in countries that probably don't see a lot of black people. So I'm being very cautious on who I talk to and how much information I like give out. Josh is trying to talk to me, make small talk, like where you're from. I'm still on FaceTime with my best friend, so I'm like giving him short answers, not a lot of answers. And so he's like, oh, so how long are you here for? And I tell him I was only supposed to be there for a couple of days. And he was like, oh, so what are you doing? I was like, oh, well, I want to go out, but I don't know where you should go. I like to party. I don't party hard, like to the point where it's like, I don't know my surroundings, and I always have to be safe because I travel alone all the time. But I like to have a good time. So he was like, oh, I can take you out or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, all right. So I give him my WhatsApp number. That's how we started talking. And so the days that I was there, I was supposed to leave. I was supposed to only be there for 2 days and then go to Budapest. So we were hanging out like ever since that day and the day after, we were hanging out, and then he asked me to stay. And I'm just like, should I stay or should I go to Budapest? And my dumb ass was like, oh, let me stay. He's cute. Let me stay and hang out with him. Egyptians are cute. I don't know if anyone is watching this is into Egyptians, but they're skinny and they're tall and they're just my type. So just saying. I had an Airbnb, and my Airbnb obviously was up because I was supposed to leave in 2 days. He was like, oh no, I have my own place. Like, you just stay there.
No. No. She wasn't ready.
I know all you were thinking, like, why would you stay at some random dude's house? Exactly. I don't know why, but he seemed trustworthy and like I can fight, so I wasn't that worried about it. He's super skinny, like I'm not. I'll just sit on him. That was my logic. It wasn't very good logic, but that was my logic. First of all, let me just point out the fact that this man did not live alone. He had a roommate, and if anyone's been to Amsterdam, like the way the apartments are set up, they're very small. So they were like, it's like a living room. What you would think in like America, it would be like a living room. But in Amsterdam, that's like their bedroom. And then there's a kitchen, and then there's a bathroom. So it's like a studio apartment. So he had a couch area that pulled out to a bed, and then there was a bed right next to it, which was his roommate's. Super awkward situation. I have booked my flight already, and I changed it, so I can't leave now. His roommate seems cool at first, you know what I mean? Like, everything's fine. I go out and party with him and his roommate. Everything's good. The turning point where I should have known better is that, one, I don't speak Arabic. So when they're speaking in Arabic, I didn't understand it, and he would have to translate it to English. And I feel like you shouldn't be rude like that and speak Arabic in front of somebody that doesn't understand it, or speak any language in front of somebody that doesn't understand it. That should have been like a red flag, number one, that they were, one, talking about me, and two, he did not want me to understand what the other guy was saying, and the other guy that was talking did not want me to know what he was saying. So we're all hanging out or whatever, and it's the night before I have to leave the next day. And we were supposed to go out. So I'm staying at his house or whatever. Him and his friend are working because they work together. They were co-workers. And I'm getting ready at his house. All my stuff is at his house. I leave all my stuff there, and I go meet him at his job to go to the club after, because he works in red light district. That's where like everything's popping. So I'm there, and I'm like waiting outside for Josh, and Josh's roommate, we'll call him Edward. Edward is there. It's like, hey, like, is Josh there? And he's like, yeah, he'll be out. So I'm like waiting outside because, you know, I don't want to wait inside his job. That's like a little bit like boxing a little bit, and I just felt awkward, and it was nice out anyway. So I go and wait outside or whatever. Edward is outside, so he's talking to me. And then this guy comes out, which is Josh's brother, who owns the restaurant. It's like, oh, Josh is nice, so like his brother has to be nice. Josh's brother, we'll call him Nick. So Nick comes out and starts talking to Edward. And I'm just standing there like, oh, hi, or whatever. And Nick starts talking to Edward in Arabic and totally disregards me as I'm like, hi, how are you, or whatever. And he didn't say anything to me, so I'm like, maybe he just doesn't understand English, but you own this restaurant, so you gotta speak some type of English, right? So he's talking to Edward, and I guess he was asking Edward, like, who am I? Like, why am I here? Why am I asking for his younger brother, Josh? So, I guess they're exchanging that, and I'm just standing there mad awkward because, like, I don't understand Arabic. I don't know what they're saying. So he looks at me, he starts speaking in English. He was like, oh, where are you from? Like, well, that's kind of rude. Like, your tone is a little disrespectful. And I was like, oh, I'm from America. I'm still being nice at this point because this is Josh's brother and I want to be respectful. And he was like, oh, how long are you here for? And I'm like, oh, I leave tomorrow, whatever. He was like, yeah, you need to go back to your country. I'm like, my face is just like, what? Excuse me? I'm just like thrown aback because I'm like, I'm being so friendly to you, and then you just want me to go back to my country? Nick is like, yeah, you need to go back to your country. Like, I don't know why you're here. You need to leave my brother Josh alone, etc., etc. Hold up. Oh, your brother asked me to stay longer, and your brother is all about me. Your brother is all about me, bro. Like, you need to relax. It's not that fucking serious. Like, you need to tone down. Like, you don't need to be so racist. So I just walk away because, first of all, I'm in a different country. I'm by myself. And, like, at this point, it's just, like, obviously a hostile environment. So I just walk away. So I message Josh as I walk away, and I'm telling this boy off. I still need to get my stuff. My flight isn't in until, like, 2 o'clock the next day in the afternoon. So I gotta wait all this time. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So after, like, I'm texting Josh and telling him off, Josh, like, replies back to me. And he's like, what happened? What did he say? And I was, like, so upset about it because, like, it was just blatant, like, racism. And I was not expecting that at all. And I was just, like, so taken aback. Josh probably called me, he's like, meet up with me. I really didn't want to, but at the end of the day, I was staying at his place. And I needed my stuff, and I was basically stranded. I meet back up with him. He's apologizing about his brother and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yo, whatever. I just want to go get my stuff. And he was like, well, you can't really get your stuff right now. And I was like, but why? It's my stuff. Like, I just want to, like, go home. Like, I just want to get my stuff and, like, just figure out the rest later. Like, I'll get a hotel or something. My roommate doesn't want you in his house. Bro, what? I was just staying in his house for the past 2 days, and now he doesn't want me in his house. The roommate Edward was talking, like, mad junk about me, like, mad racist shit about me to Josh's brother Nick, and, like, basically just, like, being racist towards me. And he doesn't want, like, a black person in his house. He thinks it's so disgusting. Let me tell you. So I was staying there for, like, 2 extra days before I went out. Before I went out to meet with Nick, to go to the bars and stuff, I had an envelope that I had left on the bed of Nick's bed or whatever, saying like thank you, and I left him money. How much money did I leave him? It was like 200 euros for just staying in his house for 2 nights. I left him 200 euros, and I didn't even have to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because like obviously the other guy lived there or whatever, but I just felt uncomfortable about it, so I just left him money. I literally regret. I'm such a nice person. I regret like leaving that envelope and that money, because at the end of the day I look dumb. Now I can't even get back in the house to get my stuff. So I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Like, my flight's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I have to head back to Italy. Like, I need to be in Milan by a certain time because my flight is the next day after. So he's like, oh, we'll get your stuff, but you just can't go back tonight. Now I'm screwed. I need my stuff. Like, where am I going to stay tonight? So we're walking around, and it's about like 10 o'clock at night, and we're trying to find hotels. All hotels are booked. Well, Beyonce decided to have a concert in Amsterdam that night. So therefore, all hotels were booked because Beyonce and Jay-Z decided to just have a concert. I have nowhere to stay tonight. I wasn't able to go back to that house to get my stuff until 8 o'clock in the morning. So from 10 to 8 o'clock, me and him were just walking around with nowhere to go. I was stranded. I didn't want him to be around me, but I didn't want to be in Amsterdam by myself walking around with nowhere to go. I just wanted to cry. It was a horrible night. I was forced to just talk to this motherfucker, and I did not want to talk to him. And like, it was just horrible. So finally at 8 o'clock, I'm able to get my stuff. And like, the guy's not there, so I just grabbed my stuff. It's not his fault that his family is racist. But in my head, I'm like, you know, if your family's racist, that means you grew up racist, so that you must have some racist tendency. The thing that made me the most upset is that he didn't stand up for me. He gave into his brother or whatever, and like the racism. And that was my biggest problem. We kept talking or whatever. We kept talking for a few months, and then like he was like, you know what, like I wouldn't be with you. Like I don't care about what my family thinks. And I believed it. I really did. So I ended up going back to Amsterdam to live. He didn't tell his family I was there. He kept me a secret. I was just an idiot. Like I always want to see the best in people, but that doesn't mean that just because I want to see it that everyone else is like a good person. Because when I went there to move, to actually live there, like I started seeing tendencies of like how he was racist, because he used to be like, yeah, you black, and then he would be like, oh yeah, like just like make comments about my body and stuff, and like traits that only like, you know, usually women of color have and stuff like that. And like when he used to get mad at me, he used to say a lot of racist things towards me, and like I don't know why I dealt with that shit, like now looking back at it, but I was young and naive. But I'm like grateful for that experience, because it definitely taught me a lot, and it actually made me grow as a person. That is not the only interracial relationship that I had. I've had others, and I mean, racism has played a part in all of them, unfortunately. I don't let that like deter me from dating someone just because they're a different race. I feel as if like that shouldn't be a determinant, and no matter how racist people are, I'm not gonna allow them to like have an influence on me. And it's kind of really hard when you're dating someone from like European countries or African countries and their skin color isn't the same as yours, because people automatically have this idea of how African Americans are, Africans or dark-skinned people or Spanish people are, and it's not fair to us. And it's not fair to them either, but that's how they're taught by their family. But yeah, so that's kind of just like what I went through. And there's like so much more stuff that I can go in depth with. I just gave a high overview of it. If you guys like this story time, like, subscribe. I'll do like more story times about like, I guess like if you want to hear more about like this relationship and other things that I went through or other relationships. Just kind of take away from this is that nobody's perfect. If you're in an interracial relationship, there's going to come obstacles with that, and you're gonna have to go through them. But like if you have the other person who's not willing to go through them and like fight for you, then it's not worth it. If they loved you so much, or if they liked you so much, they would be willing to go like 60,000 miles for you, instead of just like, oh yeah behind the closet, and then in front of people they're just like, stay beautiful, be you, always you. Don't let anyone tell you that you should change or be different, because being you makes you unique. So yeah, love you guys, and have